On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to welcome you to Como Connect, powered by Como Electric Cooperatives' 82nd Annual Meeting. My name is Gene Eulinger. I'm President of the Board of Directors. And while this isn't the annual meeting that we've come to know and enjoy, as you know, due to the coronavirus, we've scaled back our traditional meeting in an effort to best serve and ensure the health of our members and our employees. We're still excited to have an in-person meeting with members this year and look forward to a return to a normal, more traditional annual meeting next year. At this time, I would like to call the meeting to order and ask fellow Como board member John Schuster to come and give our invocation and pledge of allegiance and introduce the performers for the national anthem. John.
Good evening, Como family. If we could just bow our heads for a word of prayer. Father God, we ask for your comforting, healing hand upon all those folks affected by the coronavirus. Let them feel your presence and your peace. Lord, we come before you now and humbly bow. Open our eyes that we may see your truths, and open our ears that we may hear your voice. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Be our strength in times of weakness. Make us wise against those who would do us harm. Be our shield in times of trouble. Father, for the coal and the gas we burn to generate electricity, we acknowledge that you put them there in the ground for us to use. We thank you. Father, for the winds and the rains and the sunshine we capture to create electricity, we acknowledge that all these obey your voice. We thank you. All electricity we generate to make life easier is a gift from you. You are the source of all power. You are the giver of these blessings. Father, for the technologies you have allowed us to be a part of, we thank you. Guard our employees, keep them safe. Watch over all of us and give us guidance, the knowledge, and the wisdom to conduct this meeting in accordance with your will. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. If you'll please remain standing while we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I would also like to recognize all the veterans who are a part of our co-op membership. We appreciate your service to this great country and to protecting the democratic process that we're using this evening. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like now to welcome Ingrid and Cyrus Keene, they're my next door neighbors, to the stage to sing the national anthem. Following the national anthem, Rick Everhart will announce the quorum for the notice of the meetings.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Thank you, John, and thank you, Keens, for the beautifully done national anthem. Based on the number of registrations we've received via mail and those registrations we've received here tonight, we have reached our quorum as required by our bylaws. The number of registrations reflect the fact that the official meeting notice and a copy of the 2020 annual meeting was mailed in the May 2021 rural Missouri to the members. To dispense with roll call and reading of the minutes, I will now accept a motion to recognize the presence of a quorum, mailing of the official notice of this meeting, and approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
I so move.
A motion has been made. Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. The motion passes.
As president of the board of directors of Como, it is my honor to introduce to you the current members of our board of directors. I'm Gene Eulinger, District 3, California. Rodney Shadd, District 3 for sales. Craig Alley, District 3, California. Rick Everhart Sr., Secretary Treasurer, District 1, Stover. Bill Betteridge, District 1, Pilot Grove. Bruce Wolf, District 1, Pilot Grove. Rick Turden, District 2, Lori. John Schuster, District 2, Tipton. Gary Harris, Vice President, District 2, Boonville. Thank you, Board. As members of the Board of Directors, it's our job to conduct the business of the cooperative and to make policy decisions. Thank you to each of my fellow board members for their dedicated efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic and for ensuring that our co-op remains strong for years to come. Now I would like to bring our cooperative's attorney, Doug Obley, up to handle the election of directors.
Thank you, Gene. As all of you know, we're a little bit different this year than we have been in past years. We're glad to see those of you here who have come and have cast your ballots or will cast your ballots tonight. I want to talk to you just a little bit about the election process at this point. And we've got two things to do. We're going to put you in double duty tonight. We're first going to ask you to consider 3 bylaw revisions. We tried to do this a year ago and couldn't have the meeting, as you know, so we're doing it this year instead. These 3 bylaw provisions are basically to update our current bylaws to make them consistent with state statute. You all, those of you who registered tonight and have ballots, if you want to refer to your ballots at this point, these bylaws do 3 things. Number 1, they allow the cooperative to have voting procedures in more than one way as allowed by state law. Previously, we've only been allowed to have voting in person or mail-in ballots if you have an absentee situation or by emergency. The state statutes now allow for mail-in ballots and electronic voting, and so we want to update the bylaws to be consistent with that state law. Secondly, and related to that, in order to have a meeting, there must be a quorum, which was just announced a minute ago. And if we don't change that particular bylaw, then which currently only allows in-person voting, then we may not be able to have a meeting, which is quite an expensive ordeal. So we are asking you to consider changing that bylaw to allow those persons voting in person, by mail, or electronically to count for quorum numbers, which should prevent that from happening for us. The third bylaw is having to do with the voting districts. As you know, there are 3 voting districts. They are equally divided as far as population is concerned. The board has the ability to reconsider those in the event population changes between districts. This new bylaw, however, would require the board to consider the district voting populations at least every 5 years. And if they find that there is a discrepancy between any two districts of at least 5%, then the board will redraw the districts to make the voting members equal as much as possible in each district. And each district will have to approve, the directors from each district will have to approve those changes. So those are the three bylaw changes. We think they will encourage more people to participate in the meetings. They'll ensure fairness as far as representation between the districts, and we would ask you to consider those. Now, of course, the thing that we consider very important every year is the election of directors. And each year, the members elect 3 persons to serve on the board of directors, which is 1/3 of the board of directors, so it's a very significant situation. There are persons nominated for these positions, and we have a nominating committee consisting of 11 people that seek at least 2 people from every district to run, and there is also another method by which one can be nominated to the board, and that is by petition that has to be signed by at least 50 members and filed with the cooperative at least 45 days prior to the annual meeting. There have been no petitions filed this year, so the nominees this year for the director have been entirely by the nominating committee. And at this time, I'd like to ask the chairman of the nominating committee, Kenny Coonsey, to come forward and read the report.
Good evening. To the Board of Directors, Como Electric Cooperative Incorporated, Tipton, Missouri, 65081. We, the undersigned members of the nominating committee, appointed by the Board of Directors of Como Electric Cooperative, INC, on March 11, 2021, in compliance with Section 5 of Article 4 of the Bylaws, to make and submit nominations for directors to be elected at the annual meeting of the members to be held on Thursday, May the 27th, 2021, do hereby report that we have selected as nominees for directors the following persons, shown by districts in an alphabetical order. District 1, David Green Spriggs, 18715 CC Highway, Blackwater, Missouri, 65322. Warren Bruce Wolf, 7032 Woolry Drive, Pollock Grove, Missouri, 65216. District 2, Gary Lee Harris, 13267 B Highway, Boonville, Missouri, 65233. Stephen Ray Hoot, 18400 Hoot Road, Boonville, Missouri, 65233. District number 3, Rodney Blaine Shad, 15533 Highway E, Versailles, Missouri, 65084. Lawrence Paul Stegman, 53650 Bethel School Road, Jamestown, Missouri, 65046. Dated at Tipton, Missouri, this 11th day of March, 2021. Signed members of the nominating committee. Chairman, Kenneth Coonsey. Elsie Drury, Rodney Felton, Harold Holman, Dave Jackson, Eric Crouch, Ted Litton, Paul Van Evercool-Ren, Ruth Ann Warnicki, Cheryl Woods, Will Wright. This being all members present of the nominating committee, posted 8 a.m., March 16th, 2021.
Thank you, Kenny. You have heard the report of the nominating committee, and the nominating committee members are here. when you cast your ballots tonight, those of you who are going to have registered and will vote in person tonight, they will collect your ballots and will get them counted with the other mail-in ballots that have been previously sent in. Now I want to personally introduce the candidates to you, and I want to do this by district in the order they appear on your ballot. And as I call your name, would you please stand and remain standing until I've completed the introductions. From District Number 1, David Glenn Sprigg. Warren Bruce Wolf. From District Number 2, Gary Lee Harris and Stephen Ray Huth. From District Number 3, Rodney Blaine Shad and Lawrence Paul Stegeman. Thank you, gentlemen. Prior to tonight, each of the candidates have recorded a statement indicating to you their desire to serve on the board of directors and what they think is important as far as their ability to best serve as a board member.
Hi, my name is David Sprigg, and I want the opportunity to be your director for Como Electric Cooperative. A little background on me. I am married 28 years to Paula. She's a human resource director. I have 4 kids and 3 adorable granddaughters. My background is rural. I grew up in central Missouri. My family was farm family who measured your things by hard work. We were production agriculture and grain elevators. Learned early how to use a scoop shovel. Went to school in the area. I got a degree in business management, and that degree took me into financial services industry, primarily securities in the beginning, and then into commercial banking. I spent the last 25 years in commercial banking, primarily as a commercial and agricultural lender. Business development was always one of my strengths, that I became a sales manager and team leader for all the lenders in our market. One of the things that I enjoyed most about banking was I got the opportunity to spend a great deal of time in the community and public service. In working in small rural markets, you're expected to be a part of and those community and municipal boards, and I think it's important that you do that. So I was very involved in Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Junior Achievement, church boards, utility boards. Probably the most valuable learning experience for me was being on rural water and rural electric. I spent about 12 years serving as a director for a rural electric board in central Illinois. And I learned something very key serving on the rural electric board, and that was the cooperative principles. The cooperative principles that I thought were unique and powerful included affordability, reliability, shareholder owned, and member first. The member first piece for me was the one that really struck me. That's what I hope to bring to you. If you will consider me as a candidate for this position, I promise to use my experience as a banker, financer, lender, board member from previous utility boards to serve you in the very best fashion I can. I appreciate your support. My name is David Sprigg. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bruce Wolf, and I am seeking re-election for the Como Electric Cooperative Board of Directors. I have been a member of Como for 40 plus years, and currently I am serving my first term as director. Early on as a director, I recognized the need to do my homework, to seek as much knowledge as possible, and also gain as much training as possible. That training includes processes, good boardmanship, duties and responsibilities, financial aspects, as well as strategic planning. Those classes that I've taken have qualified me to be a credentialed district director. With that being said, I think our cooperative is in very good position for not only here and now, but also in the future. Our ability to provide broadband to our customer base sets us apart from the rest of the cooperatives. I hope that you would consider me as your candidate of choice. This year, the rural Missourian has the ballot available to cast your votes, and I would ask that you would take the time to take the ballot, cast your votes. Hopefully, you would vote for me for District 1, but more importantly, cast a vote so you can have a say in the direction of your cooperative. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Gary Harris, and I currently serve as Vice President of the Board of Directors, have been for a few years. I grew up on a small farm south of Prairie Home. My family, where I grew up, my mother and father were Como members starting in 1951. My family has lived in southern Cooper County and northern Montauk County since 1825. I graduated from Prairie Home High School, worked my way through college at Central Missouri State University in Warrensburg, where I graduated with honors with a BS degree in agribusiness. My wife Janet and I own and operate a farm south of Boonville. We have our daughter Leanna, lives in Texas, her and her husband, and we have two beautiful granddaughters. After college, I worked at several management positions. I was a territory manager for MFA Oil Company. I ran a supermarket. I was city administrator and city engineer for the city of Boonville for several years with numerous accomplishments. I also served on the Mid-Missouri Regional Planning Commission. Then I worked for MFA Oil Company for many years until I retired. And I was a district manager and then a field auditor and a fraud investigator for MFA Oil. As a fraud investigator, I managed several fraud cases in court and won all of those cases. And as a result of those cases, returned a lot of money to members, some of whom had no idea they'd even been ripped off. I love rural Missouri and I care about the people who live here. Having worked for MFA Oil Company, which is a farm cooperative, and serving on the Como board, I know and understand the cooperative business model, and I've also taken a number of courses that offered by NRECA, so I try and learn all I can and stay up to date on issues that's relevant to the RECs. I was an early advocate on the Como board for Como Connect, and Como now operates a very high quality, high speed internet service, which certainly proved itself to the membership during this pandemic, because it allowed students to learn from home and people to work from home. And so I'm real happy about that. I'm hoping that Como Connect will attract some business to this area, maybe have more jobs for our youth and young people so they don't have to move out of the territory. Also, I want to say that Como is known and respected nationwide as one of the leading distribution co-ops in America. I'm also proud of the fact that we're part of a three-tier system, Associated, Central, and Como, and together we carried through on during the polar vortex in February. Some other systems in other states weren't quite so lucky. You own a large and thriving business, and I take that responsibility very seriously. If you re-elect me to the board, I will continue to try and make the very best decisions possible for you, the members. I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steve Huth. candidate for District 2 Como Cooperative Board of Directors. I was raised and currently live just south of Boonville in Cooper County. Myself, along with my wife Diana of 39 years, our son Trevor, and the rest of my family own and operate Huth Farms LLC. As a co-manager, we operate a medium-sized row crop operation along with a large commercial and purebred Angus cow herd, out of which we sell purebred stock to local producers in central Missouri. I graduated Prairie Home High School. While there, went to Boone Slick Area Vocational School, was an FFA member there. Went on to Central Missouri State University, studying ag mechanics. And then after that, came home to Farm and Ranch for a full-time career. I've served on several boards in the past. Missouri Cattlemen's State Board, where I served as feeder council chairman for 2 years. Cooper County Cattlemen's Board of Directors, where I served as president, vice president, and other positions on the board for 25 years. I am currently chairman for Cooper Soil and Water Conservation District. I've been on that board now for 12 years, chairman for 10. Throughout my position on these boards, I've had the opportunity to work with individuals on the national, federal, state, and local levels, implementing programs to better serve our members and customers. Throughout the years on serving on these boards, I've had to make the tough decisions for the betterment of the members in the community that we serve. If elected, I will bring a common sense, level-headed position to this board. Good employees are a must, from our employees straight up through management, CEO, and the board, to put out the best service, electric service that we can for our members, and to further our footprint out into the member community for Como Fiber Optic. Como Cooperative has to be on the cutting and leading edge of technology today to broaden the broadband and have better service for our electric members. It would be an honor to serve and represent District 2 on the Como Electric Board of Directors. I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rodney Shad. My wife Jenny and I live near Versailles and have been married 47 years. We have 3 children and 4 grandchildren. I have served on the Como board for 12 years and the Como Connect board since the formation. My prior work experience includes 16 years as county commissioner, 8 years as state representative, 10 years in education, and as well as my farming operation. In the past 12 years, our co-op has reduced the frequency and length of power outages by implementing an aggressive yet affordable 7-year right-of-way management system, making our system more reliable and much safer. Our power management systems and services have been completely upgraded, bringing the latest technology to our co-op. These changes bring efficiency to our system and helps us manage outages if they occur. Our aging distribution system has required us to address the replacement of conductor and poles. A multiple-year plan is now in place and construction is ongoing, all while holding rates as low as possible and lower than some surrounding electric providers. Our Como Connect company has brought fiber to the home, providing high-speed internet, video, and phone services throughout our Como Electric service territory and the surrounding areas. The demand for these services continues to grow, and we are slowly, deliberately, and carefully expanding our Como Connect service territory. The profit margins from this venture help us keep our electric rates low and reasonable. Our staff carefully analyzes each proposed expansion before we approve. I would be honored to continue to be a part of these successes and would appreciate your support for another 3-year term. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Larry Stegman, and I'm honored to have been nominated to serve on the board of directors for Como Electric. I have a wonderful wife, Cheryl, 2 sons, Cameron and Tyler's given me 2 grandchildren, Reese and Rylan. I have a bachelor's degree with business management. I also have a master's degree in public administration from the University of Missouri, and I have another master's degree in strategic studies from the U.S. Army War College. I served with the Missouri Army National Guard for 37 years. I started as a full-time employee, federal employee with in the print shop as a private, and I worked my way up to full colonel, finally serving as the director of facilities, providing maintenance and repairs and new construction for the Missouri Army National Guard across 66 locations in the state. While serving, I was deployed to Iraq, and I served as battalion commander, providing logistics, maintenance, and supplies for units throughout the theater in Iraq. We had over 7 companies assigned to us and over 1,000 soldiers that we cared and took care of over there. So also, while serving in the National Guard, I was a financial expert, managing the funds for state and federal government resources. I also provided logistics and supplies for the soldiers and units throughout the state, providing them equipment as they needed it. I'm honored to serve on this because of the great reputation of Como Electric. I like it when the electricity works. I like it when the TV works. I also like it when my internet works and the wireless that it provides. No one likes to be inconvenienced when these things don't work. And Como Electric has a great reputation of getting the power back on when something happens. They also provide a wonderful help desk that I've used several times on my own, just trying to hook up a new TV again. I like it when it works. The future of Como Electric is why I'm excited. Any great organization has to plan for the future, and the future for an electric company is providing for more and more power drains on the grid. No one wants to be like what happened in Texas last February. The future is a bigger and bigger demand. For example, the automotive industry is converting from combustible engines to electric. In the not too distant future, we're going to see more and more power stations. At work, the parking lots are going to have it. Hotels are going to have them. Now you see 2 and 3, but soon all the parking spaces are going to have electrical. This is going to be a great demand on it. I look forward to working on the future, and I hope that you nominate me for this position. Thank you.
I want to thank the nominating committee and Doug for their effort, and thank each of you candidates for showing an interest in running for the board. I would now like to call upon Secretary Treasurer Rick Everhart to present the Treasurer's report.
Thank you, Gene. As your treasurer, it is my pleasure to inform you of your cooperative's financial condition. A balance sheet and a statement of operations for the year ending December 31st, 2020 were included in the May 2021 issue of Rural Missouri. It was recently mailed to you. During 2020, our plant assets grew over $10 million to $238.8 million. Member equity grew by more than $6 million to more than $84 million in total equity. Last year, $4.273 million was returned to our members in the retirement of capital credits and funding through the CARES Act during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And that concludes my report. May God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick, for your report. In light of that report, I would like to announce that we will not have an electric rate increase the remainder of this year. We can't promise beyond that, but for this year, no increase. I would now like to bring up Como CEO Aaron Bradshaw. Aaron has done a fantastic job for the cooperative since coming on board in 2018. Please join me in welcoming Aaron to the podium.
Thank you, Gene, and good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I know this isn't the traditional annual meeting we've all come to enjoy, but it is still great to meet again in person after the year we've had. And well, last year's virtual-only meeting went well, and we are happy to be hosting the scaled-down version, but if you're like me, let's face it, I can't wait to get back to the fun, family fun-filled annual meetings that we all remember from years past. As we planned this meeting, many of the decisions had to be made before the widespread availability of COVID-19 vaccine and the updated CDC guidelines. While we have a slightly different meeting format again this year, our focus remains on the health and safety of our members, subscribers, and employees. We are grateful that you, our member owners, were able to participate in our democratic process by casting your vote for 2021 board candidates via mail earlier this month or in person here today. With the help of our 2021 nominating committee, we have a fantastic slate of candidates this year. Now, Albert Einstein once said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change, and if that is the case, after the year we've had, I am working clearly with a bunch of geniuses, because man, have we been changing things. All right. The team of professionals working for you here at Como Connect, powered by Como Electric Cooperative, is exceptional, and I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to work with the people that I do. Over the past year, we have seen our workforce pivot time and time again as the pandemic impacted our area. Still, with each adjustment to our procedures, we were able to maintain business continuity and continue serving you. Our team focused on finding new and exciting ways to benefit our community despite the unfortunate situation. When it became inadvisable for some of our members within our community to allow people into their homes for broadband installations, our team developed an easy-to-follow self-install process. This assured that access to high-speed internet was available to them when they found themselves suddenly needing to work from home and with their children needing to attend classes online. Last year, when local charities were desperate for donations to help those in need, our team established the Connect to Help initiative. This program raised more than $20,000 for local charities. We are proud to have developed a way to help our community when many were struggling financially, and we plan to continue to serve our region with initiatives like these for years to come. In fact, we just kicked off our second annual Connect to Help campaign and have already made a donation of $8,500 to the Sheltered Workshop in Versailles. Now, when our offices needed to be closed to the public to help ensure the health and safety of our members, subscribers, and employees, our team developed innovative ways to serve you. For instance, we used technology to create a kiosk communication system that allowed anyone that came into our offices to interact with a Como representative in a socially distant and safe way. Now, those are just a few examples of the things the team has accomplished in the past year. I could go on and on talking about all the amazing things they did, and it's a lot of it. Every pivot that they made, every change that they did, just to make sure that we were still taking care and servicing our members and our communities. But I was told that if I continue to go down this route too long, they will start running music over me and tell me Gene will get a hook and he'll drag me off stage. So with that, before that happens, I would like to give you a little background on what we've been up to and how we performed this past year. So, with regard to the cooperative's performance, let's cover the main topics, which are safety, reliability, affordability, and customer service. Safety is a core value that our employees live by every day. Now, normally, to support that value, we would have held regular company-wide safety meetings, but with the pandemic, we had to alter that plan and focus on targeted safety topics in smaller group settings. Now, I am delighted to say that with the updated guidance by the CDC and availability of the COVID-19 vaccine, we are back to our regular in-person safety meeting schedule. Now, throughout 2020, we still continued to hold job briefings before each job to ensure that we were prepared for the unique challenges performing line work brings. Now, we are very proud of our employees and the safety record that they continue to bring to our co-op, and we plan to continue to being proud of them in perpetuity. Now, as members of the cooperative, system reliability is critically important to you, and each year we try to live up to your expectations. For 2020, our electric distribution system was on 99.978% of the time. Now that record is due to our strong maintenance program, investing in the replacement of aging infrastructure and keeping the rights of way clear of vegetation, our system improvements, building tie lines and options for backfeeding service, and our technology investments that help us be more efficient in our operations like advanced metering infrastructure and SCADA. Now, while our record of reliability is good, unfortunately, we can't always predict Mother Nature's impact on our system. When severe weather strikes and the power goes out, our brave crews head out and restore power as quickly as possible, never knowing what they're going to find in the field. Now, I want to take a moment to thank our linemen for their hard work and dedication, and honestly, their families for both their support and their understanding with everybody going out in the evening. So, if we can get a round of applause. Now, this will seem odd, but I would also like it to take a moment to thank all of you. Now, typically, when severe weather hits, the power goes out, our crews go out and restore it. However, earlier this year, we witnessed something unprecedented in the electric industry, and it wasn't something that our crews could fix. In mid-February, as a result of the polar vortex, we put out a call to all of our members, asking them, to do anything that they could to conserve energy where they could, to avoid the possibility of rolling blackouts. With your help, the collaborative effort of our neighboring cooperatives, and the hard work of Associated Electric Cooperatives team, Missouri's electric cooperatives did not have to resort to rolling blackouts that were seen by many of the other providers. Thank you. Now, another important goal of the cooperative is ensuring the affordability of service to you. In April, we moved to update our rate structure. That lowered your energy charge while adding a demand charge. This adjustment was not an increase, did not increase the cooperative's revenue. A majority of our members saw very little change in their bill. In fact, many saw a slight decrease after transitioning to this new rate structure. If you have questions about the new rate design, please give us a call or visit our website. On our website, we have answers to frequently asked questions and links to the information we have provided in the past in recent editions of the Rural Missouri magazine. Now, for those of you in attendance, if you have questions this evening, you can also visit our question and answer booth right over there. Now, speaking of contacting us, our friendly member care representatives have answered over 136,000 calls since the last annual meeting. With each call, email, or letter, we strive to exceed the expectations of our members when it comes to customer service. When you call, we answer. When your power goes out, we fix it. And we make sure to treat each of our members as friends and neighbors every step of the way, because that is what you are. Now, while I have your attention, I would also like to offer a brief update on your cooperative's wholly owned broadband subsidiary. Not to put too fine a point on it, but we had a pretty darn good year. Our subscriber base climbed to more than 22,000, and we plan to see that grow even more by this time next year. That growth means more broadband connectivity for rural Missourians, the importance of which was obviously highlighted during the challenges we all faced during the pandemic this past year. Now you can be proud knowing your co-op remains at the forefront of the national effort to close the digital divide in rural America. And I mean that. We truly are leading the way. So with that, I will conclude my report by saying thank you all for attending today's annual meeting. I know I speak for everyone here at Como when I say we appreciate the opportunity to serve you and this community. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Aaron, for that good report. I would now like to take a moment to recognize the Board of Directors for the Como Cares Trust. They manage the Operation Roundup program that a lot of you contribute to. You can read about Operation Roundup on our website. And the members of this group, if you would stand when I call your name. Daryl King is chairman. Harvey Williams is vice chairman. Tina Potts, treasurer. Elsie Drury, secretary. Glenn Bain. Patricia Snyder. Daryl Spady. Shirley Weiss, and Michelle Higgins. For those of you who don't know about Operation Roundup, we have a short video to show you.
Did you know that by rounding up your electric bill each month, you can make a difference in the life of your Como country neighbors? Operation Roundup is a program that allows you to do just that, make a difference right here at home. The money raised will pay for things such as food, shelter, clothing, and healthcare. Donations will also be made to community services such as rescue squads and ambulance districts. A portion of the funds will also be used for scholarships in our service area.
My mom died whenever I was a young boy, and left my dad to raise us 4 kids on his own. And from the beginning, just going through high school, I realized that I wasn't going to get the opportunity to go to college if I didn't get some kind of financial support. And it luckily came through locally through the Como Cares Scholarship. It gave me an opportunity to attend the University of Missouri and major in agricultural economics. From there, I was actually financially set enough I could go to law school, and I got my law degree from the University of Missouri. After that, I went out to Washington, D.C. and worked for a congressman, and then I was a presidential appointee in the Department of Agriculture. After that, I really felt the desire to help my community, much like they helped me get through college, and moved back to Missouri and became a state representative. And now it's kind of a coincidence. I actually now work for the Missouri Association for Rural Electric Co-ops as their vice president, and it's just been it's been a great opportunity for me, and really a chance to give back to those who really helped me grow and get an education that I needed to be successful. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it hadn't been for the Como Cares Scholarship.
Helped the food bank for so many years, both with our general distribution of food as well as our Buddy Pack program. With the only $1 funding that the food bank receives, we can turn that into $21 worth of groceries. So those fundings that we can turn into groceries go back into the communities to be able to help through this program. Help us do what we do. Because throughout the food bank's 32 counties, every 1 in 6 individuals are food insecure, and every 1 in 5 are children. So that partnership is amazing, to be able to work together to feed the many that are in need of food and to provide them hope for the future.
The Como Cares Trust Inc. trustees, made up of 9 volunteer community leaders from our service area, evaluate and award requests for assistance from Operation Roundup. Trustees are appointed by Como's Board of Directors. How it works. Electric bills are rounded up to the next highest dollar each month. For example, if a month's bill is $52.71, it's rounded up to $53, with 29 cents going directly into the Operation Roundup Fund. A monthly donation may be as little as a penny or as much as 99 cents. The average member contributes an estimated average of just more than $6 per year.
Now I'm proud to announce that this year we have not one, but we have two winners of the O.B. Clark Award. The O.B. Clark Award was set up in honor of former Como board member O.B. Clark, who served on Como's board from 1973 until 2009. During that time, he served as the board vice president from 1974 until 1977, and as president from 1978 until 2008. The O.B. Clark Award was created to showcase the amazing compassion and leadership skills of the employees who receive it. These employees have gone above and beyond to achieve our mission of improving the lives of the region we serve. Recipients of this award will get to attend the 2022 NRECA annual meeting in Nashville, along with their spouse or another individual. Now we'll switch over to a pre-recorded video of O.B. Clark announcing the winners of this year's award.
Thank you, Gene. I'm excited to unveil the 2021 O.B. Clark recipients. Certainly there was no shortage of employees who were willing more to go the extra mile than what might have been expected of them. Como's always been, as you know, a hands-on cooperative. We deal face-to-face and deal with problems as they come forth. But this has been a tough year, 2020, because of the coronavirus and the distancing and the face masking, the things that made it especially hard. Financially, we had a wonderful year, but I commend the employees that have had to work under crowded conditions and conditions that they're not used to working under. I am proud to say that the two recipients of the award this year are Andy Lawson and Johnny Twyman. Now, I could try to explain what they did, but folks, this was an amazing act of heroism, of concern for what they saw, so I am going to ask if you will allow me to read the award because I think it is so important. In early June of 2020, Johnny Twyman and Andy Lawson were traveling south on Highway 5 on their way to the lake office. They had just passed the Fortuna substation, and as they rounded the curve on Highway 5, they noticed a toddler walking in the middle of the highway. Simultaneously, in a northbound lane, a semi-truck came over the hill and around the curve. As you know, it's pretty hard to stop these big semi-tractor trailer rigs. Andy stopped the vehicle he was traveling in. Johnny jumped out and immediately began running across the highway to the little boy, later to be identified as a 3-year-old. The truck driver applied his brakes and leaving a trail of rubber on Highway 5. Finally, he screeched to a halt, missing the toddler by only inches as he slid by him. Johnny swept the boy up in his arms and he ran to the ditch. Then Johnny walked the boy across the highway to his mother, who was standing there with a baby in her arms and another toddler beside her. As you can imagine, the young boy Johnny and Andy had rescued was very shaken, as certainly his mother as well. The actions of these two men truly represent the Cooperative's values to an extent beyond words. They both went above and beyond in service to the Cooperative by risking their lives in the face of an oncoming semi-truck to save the life of this little boy. And certainly on behalf of all the members and board, the employees of Como, I want both of you to know that we applaud the quick thinking and the willingness to help the people of our community. It's my pleasure to present to you the O.B. Clark First Award. Thank you very much.
I believe one of them is here. Andy, would you stand up? And also, I'd like to recognize OB and his wife. They're up front here for those that haven't seen. Thank you. Congratulations to the two OB Clark Award winners. Your actions and leadership are an inspiration to the rest of the cooperative. Now, at this time, do we have any unfinished business to bring before the membership? Do we have any new business? Thank you for attending our 82nd annual meeting. We hope you've enjoyed our meeting, and thank you for being flexible and understanding of the changes that we made to ensure the safety of our members and employees. Once the election results are in, we'll bring our cooperative's attorney, Doug Obley, back up to present the results of the 2021 election of directors. While we wait, we will announce a few prize drawings for those in attendance. The electric bill credit prizes will be announced tomorrow on our website and our social media accounts. And following the attendance prizes, we'll show a video created by Associated Electric Cooperative called Weathering the Storm. In closing, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank all of our Como employees for all of the work they do taking care of our members. And I would like to, let's have a round of applause for our employees. And I was told that tonight we had more volunteers to come and work than we had actual work that needed to be done. So I look forward to a meeting next year when we have a full house and we need all of our employees. I would now entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a motion? I have a motion that we adjourn. Do I have a second? All of those in favor of adjourning say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you for attending the 82nd annual meeting and have a wonderful evening.